Hi, and welcome back to the Unfinished Journey podcast, where we say whatever the fuck we want because it's our journey, like it or not. I am Cindy, and with me, as always, is Gabriella. Hi,
Hi,
Gabriella.
hi, Cindy.
Hola, hola. Today we are talking about something near and dear to my heart that I practice every day. We're talking about breath work. And for people who might not know what breath work is, I'm going to read you a definition, so bear with me, of what exactly it is. And maybe you can relate to it. So, breath work is the use of breathing techniques in order to achieve altered states of consciousness and to have a variety of effects on physical and mental well being. Breath work has been seen as derived from multiple spiritual and pre scientific traditions from around the world. According to Jack Razzo, breathwork is described by proponents of a multiform healing modality characterized by symbolized breathing. Its design is to affect physical, emotional, and spiritual change. Such a process can allegedly dissolve limiting programs that are stored in the mind and the body and increase one's ability to handle more energy. Breathwork practitioners believe that an individual's particular pattern of passive breathing can lead to insights about their unconscious mind. So, with that said, um, there are just a disclaimer, there's a bunch of different ways to do breath work. Everybody has their own special unique way. But the benefits are generally across the board very similar, if not exactly the same. So I will ask you, Gabriella, what are your thoughts on breath work? Do you practice breath work? What are your favorite styles? What's your
Uh,
experience?
Breathwork is awesome. I do practice it daily, and I've experimented with the different modalities and practices quite a bit because fundamentally, I love to experiment and try new things. So that's just my way of life. So for a few good years, maybe like 4 or 5 years, I focused on Kundalini yogic breathing. And for those of you that are not sure what that means, uh, in Kundalini yoga, it's called the breath of fire, and it's a rapid rhythmic breathing through the nose. And breath of fire is so amazing for so many things, but primarily it increases vitality, it clears out and activates your chakras, and it brings spiritual awareness and connection with your higher self, with your spirituality. And I found it to be very, very healing. Um, Kundalini yoga, God, I could talk about it for a very long time, but that's one modality that I've experienced, and it was incredibly powerful. And combined with mantras, um, even more powerful. It's mantras in on their own are very impactful, and then when you combine it with the breath, the element of air, it's just expansive in its results. And then I have experimented with Wim Hof. For those of you that are not sure what I'm talking about, Wim Hof combines breathing, cold exposure, and meditation. And I love cold showers, like that's part of what he teaches, and cold plunges. I have not experimented with cold plunges. I love cryotherapy, however, and that is my way of doing cold exposure. It's much less invasive, in my humble opinion. But the breath work aspect, I found it to be extremely effective, especially if I am dealing with a lot of stress, or like I have a really busy day and I need to slow down. It really helps me center and ground. And yeah, the technique you do 30 breaths of in and out breathing. It's pretty fast. And then you hold your breath from a minute and a half to like 3 or 4 minutes. And you do that for a cycle of 3 times, 4 times. It depends on where you are at in the process and how advanced you are. But yes, it's very powerful, and I really can't recommend it enough. What about you, Cindy?
Um, I practice breath work every day. I generally wake up and do like box breathing or square breathing, whatever you want to call it. Just to kind of to set my body for the day by breathing. I've done a lot of like deep belly breathing, like different meditation breathings. I'm not sure what they're all called, but like the inhaling and then till you can't anymore, and then inhaling more, and then inhaling more when you think you can, and to keep inhaling, and then audible exhales, and um, I the I'm also experimenting with cold showers and like breathing through. I don't think you really have a choice but to like work on breath in a cold shower because it's freezing and you're like, but I I've done that, and breath work definitely for healing, and breath work definitely for like during meditations, different meditations, and what I'm trying to focus on or connect with in my meditations. Um, uh, Definitely some breathing, like count breathing. So like breathe in for a count of whatever, hold for a count of whatever, breathe out for a count of whatever. It's always different, depending on who you're doing it with. Um, and then also trying to just be really cognitive of my breathing throughout the day, and like making sure that I take nice deep breaths and then nice long exhales. There's something to be said because when people are starting to panic, they're like, breathe through your nose and out through your mouth, like take a deep breath. It kind of like, it's resets things for you, and it like brings in oxygen and energy to your brain, or oxygen to your brain and energy into your body. That's like just like kind of a fast healing. It's like smelling salts, right? It's like kind of wakes you up. Um, I the box breathing, I wanted to mention that our Navy uses that. Our Navy SEALs uses that's their technique to calm soldiers, or to keep people calm, or our soldiers, our SEALs calm in combat or in like high stress situations, is that they do the box breath. And that's the you breathe in for 4, you hold for 4, you breathe out for 4, and you hold for 4, breathe in for 4, you do that. So in like 16 seconds you just did a little mini meditation and like go about your day, right? So it's kind of nice. It's kind of a nice way to just kind of connect with your body, and make sure that your heart is getting enough oxygen, your brain is getting enough oxygen, and um, what do they say? Breath is life, right? So like, if we're not breathing, we're dead. So you might as well make them good breaths. Um, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and um, also notice that whenever you're in a high stress situation or you're working on something, we tend to hold our breath. So being cognizant of that, and yeah, like you said, choosing to take deep breaths throughout the day, and really, really notice, right? Like when you're in um, high intensity situations, you constrict, and so learning that and practicing being able to expand and just continue breathing throughout the day is super important.
Yeah, and it also has some health benefits to it as well. Like it reduces stress, like it like improves your mental focus. It can for me it can regulate my emotions if I just like stop and take a second to breathe and like think about what like right sizing problems, right? So
Mhm.
something that seemed like a big deal, and taking a couple of deep breaths and like clearing my head, and I can like look at it from a different situation or different viewpoint. um it helps with my sleep, and excuse me. It also, I feel like it also like like I said earlier, it brings in oxygen into your lungs, into your heart, into your blood, into your brain. Like your body needs this oxygen. I feel like we're rushing through everything these days that we don't stop to like smell the roses essentially. And essentially that's a deep breath, right? Like I feel like there's something to be said. Like maybe that's where that saying came from. I don't know. If anybody knows out there in the comments, let us know because I think it's important, and also I feel like it gives me like a deeper connection between my mind and my body because like I can't like if my mind is cluttered, then like my body can't connect to it. So like it's a good way to just kind of declutter my mind, set right with my body, and kind of move on without my throughout my day, move on with my day. Um, also like it can if for me like it reduces my anxiety when I'm feeling anxious about something. I just start breathing. Excuse me. Um, and it's also like helps me with energy levels. I can really get like if you get your heart rate up and you start breathing and whatever. And I feel like, it also like breathing for me helps me through pain. Like if I'm hurt a lot because of my active lifestyle. So like breathing through the pain is something that helps me also. Um, it also helps me build up my lungs, right? Like my dad had a lung problem, and so we learned the importance of like building strong lungs so that you can keep them and not stop breathing someday from bad lungs. And so breathing, like the importance of breath work and like deep breathing and like filling your lungs full of air and like building, like your lungs are like a muscle that you have to just keep building and building to make sure that they're working regularly with your body to make your life better. Um, yeah, there's a lot of different things that this has helped me with, and breathing definitely my lungs being it's a hot topic for me. But like it just lowers my stress, lowers my blood pressure, makes my life better. And it's something that I could do. Like, I don't have to sit down and meditate for 20 minutes to have breath work, right? I can just like walking in the car, walking down the street, whatever, just take a deep breath and then exhale and just move on with my day. So it's kind of nice. It's a really nice tool to have in my back pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. Breathwork. Yeah, I did this energy training, the Huna energy training, Hawaiian energy training. And yeah, one of the things that our Kumu, our teacher, was highlighting, he was like, whatever I do, right before I sit down and do it, I take 3 or 4 deep breaths to bring focus and to clear out anything that is not no longer serving me, for the purpose of bringing in energy and also like letting go of things that are not serving you and holding you in a stagnant energy. Yeah.
That's actually something I didn't mention either. It's like is mindset change, right? Like you think you can't do something, can't do it, can't do it, can't do it. You just take a deep breath and be like, okay, I got this. I got it. And like
That's
go
right.
on with it. Yeah, it's a nice tool. It's definitely a nice tool to have in your back pocket. It
And it's
also
free. It's
it's
free. It costs
free.
you nothing.
That's true. No, I have to breathing is a big part of my lifting as well because like breathing at certain times helps with my lifts. So like holding my breath at certain times and like exhaling at certain times, it helps with my lifts and it helps me get up more weight. So breath work is found like literally everywhere. I just think sometimes people see breath work and they think it's like super hippy dippy or like woo woo or whatever, but really our Navy SEALs are using it. So like can't get more manly than that, right? Um, or you know, strong than that. I guess there's lady Navy SEALs too, but yeah, I just think it's super important, super vital for us just in general as humans to just remember to freaking breathe. I do want to point out though that find something that works for you. Like I found things that like throughout many, many years found things that work for me every day. That might look different for you. Like our me and Gabriella and our breath work practices look different, but we're both doing breath work. Maybe it's similar things, but for the most part, we got our own practices. So I would encourage people to find things that work for you and just stick to it. Like that's what kind of drew me to that box breath is it's 16 seconds. Who doesn't have 16 seconds, really? Like 16 seconds. Just like change your mood in 16 seconds. I'm sold. So yeah, breath work. Breath work good.
Starts with one breath work, with one breath and one intention, right? To bring
Yeah,
harmony
exactly. I
to
mean,
your life,
and it's like
your
you
body.
said, it's free. It doesn't it doesn't cost you anything like you said. It also like it only gives you benefits. Like there's no negatives to breathing. I mean, like I said, when you stop breathing, you're dead, and that's not good. But yeah. I mean, like there's all the scientific shit too, right? Like the whole like detoxification and like the oxygenating your is that a word?
Yeah,
Oxygenating?
I think so.
Oxygenating your cells and your immune systems and like getting your body really like full of like oxygen is an important part of your thing. And also like when we exhale, we get rid of carbon dioxide and
Mhm.
like we don't need that. So like inhaling oxygen and exhaling the bad stuff is like is vital. And I think we're rushing around a lot during the day and we're just breathing like just very shallow and without thought, without being mindful of it. And that's where a lot of stuff can happen. A lot of bad stuff can health wise happen. So um yeah. Do you have any last minute breath work information for us?
Uh, no, just start small and build on it. Do it every day, and stop and notice how that shifted your day or your meeting or whatever you are up to.
Agreed. Agreed, agreed, agreed. And I'm gonna like emphasize finding what works for you. Just
Absolutely.
like Google what types of breath work is there and just try each one and go for it. Start breathing. Breath is life. Anyways, I guess we'll wrap up this latest episode of our podcast. Um, if you would like to find us on social media, it's Phoenix Medicine. It's at Phoenix Medicine on socials, and mine is at the Worth Warrior on socials. And on Instagram, you can find our link trees and see what else we've got going on. Like and subscribe to our stuff, comment, rate us, whatever, and let us know what you guys want to be hearing in the next coming months and what you want to hear us talking about. If you have any suggestions on guests, we'd love to have guests. And until next time, we'll see you next week.